Hello, everybody. My name's Ardendris, and welcome back to All the Mods 10. Last time, how did things start off? Oh yes, we went back to the Nether because we wanted to clear out the rest of those, ancient warrior things we had seen. So we did not. There were a couple other structures we wanted to clear while over there. So we cleared a couple little temples, got not really much super exciting out of the temples themselves, but after clearing out the rest of the ancient warriors, we had enough for a single netherite ingot. And then we found an obsidian spire that we had seen the first time we went to the Nether, but apparently it both had a piglin root in it and 6 of the ancient debris blocks themselves, so that was pretty cool. It turns out that those blocks can actually be doubled using the ore hammers. So, yeah. Right now we have 1 piece of netherite already, but we could make another 5. I just didn't want to do that just yet, just in case we had other uses for netherite scrap. So, that got us, not ATM star, that technically unlocks all the mods chapter 2, all the modium, so that's pretty cool. We do still have all of this stuff in the first part of it to do first, though. I just need to get 2 more wither skulls to get another 3 for free. Then we need to actually kill it. Then we need to go to the fortress, and then we need to kill the dragon. And then we need to find we need to go to the deep dark, and then we need to kill the warden, which we are nowhere near ready for. But anyways, after we came back, we did a little bit of work here in the village, here in the overworld, just putting some stuff away and whatnot. I literally planted that like 30 seconds before hitting start recording, and it already grew up. Anyways, we emptied out a couple of quest things, just got like the basic rewards from it. And then we went ahead and summoned a boss. So we did the Wilden summoning ritual again, but this time, now that we have the resources needed to do it, we augmented it with the Wilden Spike, Wing, and Thorn, or whatever it's called. Horn. Horn, that's what it is. And doing that summons the Wilden Chimera, which is a really cool boss fight. It starts out just as... Can I stop getting jump scared by bosses for half a second, please? Also to note, I've been on for a little while. It is now almost midnight. I am tired. This might be a short one. Anyways, yeah, we fought the Wilden Chimera. And until it reaches half health and enters stage 2, it was going really well. And then even after it was at stage 2, it still was an okay fight. We were handling ourselves pretty much fine. Until it started throwing spikes at us, and if they hit, it was basically an insta-kill. So that's an issue. And we did manage to beat it after only 3 deaths, though, which we are not very strong right now. That's a win in my books. Anyways, I don't really care about everything else. I just wanted to take care of the boss itself, and then I'm gonna run back. Anyways, I've been on here for like 2 hours now, way longer than it realistically should have taken for what I was doing, but Sigil of Malice applies Touch of Malice to an affix item. Really should look more into the Apotheosis Enchanting at some point. But yeah, I was just doing a little bit of farming. I haven't done any inventory management, so our backpacks are still a mess. Really should have done that. But I spent 2 hours building something that should have taken 20 minutes. So, I basically just planted a whole bunch of stuff, harvested and whatnot, so a lot of the chests are now completely full again. I say a lot of the chests, but no, we now have a little, farm shed, basically. Yeah, so this thing should have been really, really simple to build. It is nothing super exciting. It's just a pretty basic oak log frame. It's got a little bit of an indent here. I have a whole bunch of the oak drawers. I think I made 2 of these myself. And then I made all these 2x2s. It's pretty simple. It's just some chests and some extra wood pieces. Another wandering villager has made their way in here. But I spent like an hour and a half just looking at various things, like this alchemy book. We got this off a random thing last time. Basically, you can go in and just say, oh, I want to turn all this dirt into rough dirt or regular dirt or craft and do that. Just click on it. Oh, do that. Do that. So that's a much nicer system than the old school chisels work. Plus, I was trying a whole bunch of it with the different oak logs because it also works with those. It works with a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah. Oh, yes, I also added in this smooth dirt side pathway along the farm as well. A little bit of empty space. Not sure what's going in there. Haven't found something to plant. So, yeah. This thing is super basic. It has a little spot that I'm probably going to put a small kitchen in. It's got a lot of the major crops currently in here. Like the cotton and fluffy plant, as it's called, and the industrial hemp there, soy, amaranth, and amaranth, lettuce, all that good stuff, and then some of the other basic crops right there. So it's got, we finally have some amount of food storage. The backpack over here is still full of stuff that doesn't have a spot yet. I'm probably gonna have to put actual chests in eventually. But yeah. Yeah, this should not have taken me 2.5 hours to do that. But I tried so many block combinations, and then I had to gather a bunch of bamboo for this. Like, I didn't have much, so I kept having to use bones, grab it, running back and forth, trying to figure things out. I'm using some of these framed slopes. Those are pretty simple. It's just just a couple of planks and sticks to make the things, the blocks, and then yeah. Like I went way overboard for what was supposed to just be a very basic starting shed. Like I did not have to just spend that much time on it, but oh well. Anyways, we got a nature's compass for free, which means we now get some free torches. That was tips and tricks. The nature's compass gives you a list of biomes you can search for. I'm curious, does the nature's compass work to find a deep dark biome? I'm actually not sure. Ooh, mining dimension. Deep dark, deep dark. Is that an option? Uh, deep cold, deep dark. It does. Okay. That's actually really good because that means we do need to find an ancient city for the Aldemodium ore. So that'll probably save us some time. That'll be an easier way of finding it. What else do we have here? Building tips. Changing blocks using... Oh, just have changed a block in some way. I did that while looking through all the various things, I guess. Uh, Changing blocks doesn't have any rewards. Chipped. I I got a thing for free, which means I just get a free crafting table. Why not? Framed blocks. I made them, which means we get a framed saw. Um, Not really sure what you do. Let's just place you down for a moment. Oh, okay. So I could put, if I had any amount of framed blocks, I could just say, okay, turn them into this very specific framed thing instead of just AET pattern encoding. Oh, okay. So this actually has some built-in applied energistics. What's the word? I don't even know. Like it's got some built-in ability to work with applied energistics. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of right now. So that's cool. What else? I'm just trying to clear some of these out. I'll grab those frog lamps later. That's just kitchen flooring. Maybe I should have grabbed that too. Macaws we grabbed, so we'll get a whole bunch of... Oh, okay, I guess we'll get to choose what we want out of here. I'll leave that be for now. Macaw's doors will give us the same choice. Macaw's... Okay, the Macaw's stuff will just get us some free wood. Macaw's windows... I tried making some shutters, but they didn't quite look how I wanted them to. Is there anything I actually care about grabbing? Maybe not right now. Oh yes, the bounty board has something important. We killed 100 zombies, so now we get a diamond furnace. Okay, that's much better than the iron one we have back home. Is there anything else important in here? I also have no idea what we're really getting up to today. I spent so long on here. I am very tired and it's very late. I just needed to get recording. Um, I do kind of want to start looking at roots, so maybe we can start looking at the very basics of that. I did grab a whole bunch more of them just because, just while I was moving things around and grabbing a whole bunch of plants. Although I also do want to look at occultism. I don't know, do we want to go druidic or evil? Which magic mod do we want to look at first? Or do we start looking at something tech related? I mean, obviously we could continue on with ours right now, but I don't know. I do not have the brain power to say, which spell glyphs do we want to get on which way, and which ritual is next right now. So let's start on something completely new I have no frame of reference on. Maybe that's not my best idea. What was I coming over here for? Oh yes, I did move these farms, and I did check the config and figure something out. So, apparently, the All the Mods team changed how a few things work. So, rude. So, normally, there's I think it's a 10% chance, if I remember correctly. Just change those out immediately. World Tier Ascent, hold on. I got a Windswept Iron Boots. They're apparently uncommon, but putting them on... what key is it? Not Q. I don't remember right now. Which, equip a full set of uncommon gear and slay an invader to begin your ascent. World tier ascent. How do I check world tiers again? I don't remember. Current aura tracking. It's not U, P, O. Oh, that's a mess. 1 second. I know there's a way to check this. I just do not remember the keybind. Anyways, I'll go over that in a moment. What was I saying? Oh yes, the All the Mods team apparently changed how a couple of things work. So mobs usually have, I don't remember if it's a 10 or 20% chance to drop Inferium when you kill them. That has been disabled. And seeds no longer have a chance to drop, or the mystical agriculture seeds specifically, no longer have a chance to drop extra seeds when you break them, which makes it a little bit harder to just make them and then just get a whole huge farm going from. Like, it actually makes it impossible. You actually have to make every seed by hand. But, I don't know, I might change that one. But I also don't want to mess with things too much, so I might just leave it be. I very much would like it if I could get extra seeds for free, though. Anyways, let me figure out the key for world tiers real quick, because something obviously just happened there with the ascent thing, and I can't find the right key. I knew it was T, I just have to press control first. Anyways, we're in Frontier. Detailed info. Do we have detailed info for how to get to it? Or I guess if I wasn't in it already, I could. But now we could go to the Ascent rank, which will get us a little bit of extra experience, some extra luck. Mobs get a little bit stronger. We can start getting epic things more often. That's pretty cool. So, might as well ascend to the next layer. And then we need a rare chest plate, Slay the Wither, and rare boots. Okay, so that's probably gonna happen pretty soon. I probably had a rare chest point at some point, but I didn't put it on because I had something okay at the time. But I don't know if I've seen any boots that would fit that description. And so that's a later thing, I guess. But we are going up stages right now. Anyways, what are we getting up to today? I also said last time that I was going to go through here and just say, oh, we don't, that's not an interesting quest, just complete it on my own. I did not do that. Like everything in artifacts, I'm probably just going to go in and get a bunch of free experience. Or actually, maybe I shouldn't, just in case I died, because right now, I'm storing 33.3 levels there. I have 36 buckets of experience back home and 22 levels on me. I should be a bit careful with them. Maybe I shouldn't clear out everything just yet and hold on to it when I do need the levels. But, could also continue on with Mahu. Just make, like, the basic... And make a bunch more Giosses. And make, like, the one that changes iron into random things, for instance. The exchange, equivalent exchange. I don't remember what it's called. It has a specific name. I should at least set that one up. We should start going through Mahu a little bit more. So just grab mortar, grab this, and I need to remember that was not the right button. Kiosks, I should definitely make more of Q2, but I'm looking for equivalent displacement, I think. Nope, that is the wrong one. I'm looking for, let's see, Chronal Catalyst Exchange. Here it is. It's 3 emeralds and you get a new one. Cool, I can do that one super easily. I'm low on diamonds, so it's a good thing it didn't require those. Anyways, there we go. Powdered emerald. Is there a different way to make it? No, it's very specific. You can only use this powdered emerald, and you can only get it this way. I figured I'd double check. And what is my button for drawing a mist? There we go. There it goes. It's M. It's different than what it was in Naruto. Anyways, if I just grab some iron and turn it into dust, I can currently only do 2. 1. Okay, I guess I can only do 1? Didn't it usually only cost 100? Why does it cost, why does it cost 100 now? I thought it only cost 50 before. Oh well. So, technically speaking, that is also part of what we need for the Scroll of Mannequin Dungeon. So, just some free powdered iron and experience is pretty cool. I mean, of course we're going to make the explosive staff. Why wouldn't we make the explosive staff? You've got to do explosions. It's not a very good weapon. Maybe it might actually be good here. It wasn't good in Naruto because of how strong they were. And it wasn't very strong in Tensura because of how strong they were. I'm talking about 116.5 Tensura, not the latest one we played through. Not Tensura Reincarnated. But maybe against things that are meant to be taken at, like, basic Minecraft level, it might do some good. That's probably just going to destroy loot, so maybe be a bit careful with it. Anyways, that's going to take a while to get running anyways. I'm just going to leave it here for now, and I think I want to take a small break from Ars until I can actually, like, plan out what would be the best way to get a super powerful offensive spell. Anyways, Kenny the baby has awoken nearby. The boss names or something. That's an Enderman. Hold on, we haven't killed many Endermen. I do need Ender Pearls. But what are we going to do today? Might try to looking through a couple of our quests real quick, see what we need to do if we want to start up on something new. I think it is gonna be, I think I do want to look at either roots or, occultism. I think we can, I think I know how occultism starts. We could do it pretty simply. I just need to grow one of those demon, dream seeds we have. I'm not entirely sure about roots, though. Although, also, something I'd completely forgotten until just right now, I did want to start looking at summons for ours, so maybe we don't leave that behind just yet. I don't know. There's so many mods, it's hard to decide what thing to go through at any given time. I think ours might have a couple different bosses, but we're definitely not prepared for them yet. Where'd you go? I'm just gonna stand in this corner and let the Enderman come to me, I think. Oh, you're above ground now. Silly, what are you doing up there? Hello? Are you gonna come down, or are you gonna make me come up there? Really? Come on, let me up. Ah, there we go. Oh yes, Enderman, you're actually scary. Get him, my swords. Get it. I am about to... Ah. I forgot. It's a super-powered Enderman, and Endermen just on their own are scary. Yep, that was a goof on my part. Okay, bosses apparently do not despawn. So before we move on, oh, we lost 18 levels. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't grab too much extra experience that I don't need. Before we move on to, before we move on to a different magic mod, either occultism or, uh, yeah, either occultism or basic roots, we're gonna do one more magic mod, and then we're gonna do one of the two before moving on to something tech-based, I think. But I do want to look at summon familiars. Whatever. Endermen are annoying as is, but the boss one just keeps saying, "Okay, I'm not here anymore, and I'm just going to hide underground, and you're gonna have to chase me." And you know what? I don't feel like chasing it. But I do want to look at the familiars from Ars. I did say I want to just. I very much am tempted it to become a summoner, because right now our swords are really cool. I There was summon steed. Um, summon. Actually, there's a couple different summon spells. Summon steed is very cheap. We could do that. Summon wolves. Summons two wolves that will fight with you. Spend time will increase the amount of time on the summons. Applies summoning sickness to the caster, preventing other summon magic. Okay. And cannot be cast while afflicted by this sickness. Summon decoy. Oh, attract mobs near us. Okay, we got that in an accidental, like, shadow clone jutsu. Necromancy. Is that a tier 3 glyph? It is, so we couldn't do that right now. So is Vex. Filter, so that will not attack summons, that will only attack summons. Or I suppose we could do a boost all summons as well if we wanted to. Well, we could do summon steed right now. I mean, that's not exactly what I was thinking of when it came to when I thought of magic, of summoning magic, but it technically is summoning magic. We could make a very basic projectile summon steed with extend time or whatever. That technically would be summoning and maybe even pretty good. So that's an option. What did it say specifically? AoE. Area of effect increases summon time. Okay. Summon wolves requires conjuration essence. Conjuration essence is made. Conjuration essence, here it is made with a Starbuncle token. I think we got one of those randomly. A book and a thing. So we could make it right now. Although, it would be most of our resources. And oh yeah, this is also used for conjuring, like, biome things. And source spawner, whatever that means. Or whatever that's for. Ooh, summoning power. Enchant. Ooh, we couldn't make that right now anyways. Weird attuned gem. What are you used for? I don't know. I'm probably jumping ahead a little ways when it comes to this right now. Let's just go ahead and make a glyph of summoning steed right now. And glyph of summoning wolves. Conjuration essence. How many Starbuncle tokens do we have? We actually have enough. And it needs Wilden Wilden Horn rather, and a book as well, which I don't have any books on me. I left them all at home, didn't I? I do have to head back and deal with inventory, and we do have the waste station. Waystone. Why are words so hard? I mean, it is midnight, so I'm not gonna fault myself too much for not being fully in it right now. Anyways, there's all of that, and it needs what in the middle? Okay, it is the source stone, or source gem rather. I figured probably, but wasn't sure. Anyways, there's that. I don't have any randomly over there. Okay, and then just give it some extra source to speed it up a bit. So this will let us summon wolves, and will let us summon horses. I just need to set up the spells. That shouldn't take too long with the extra source we're providing. So, come on, just give me the conjuration essence, thank you. I forgot it didn't actually take them away. That means we could get infinite conjuration essence, right? Like, we can make infinite, we can make infinite source gems, or close enough to it, so, I don't know. That is an option. Glyph of animate block, so we can make a block fight for us too. Glyph of Fangs is tier 3. Glyph of Vex is glyph 3. Glyph of Recall is tier 3. Okay, there's not a whole lot we can do with this. If we could figure out the enchanting apparatus, we could use it for a couple different things. Book thread summoning focus. Thread for the spellbinder will cast spells as if the summoning focus was equipped. Okay. Yeah, I'm thread of summoning. Reduce summoning sickness by 10% for each tier, starting from something from tier 2. It also slightly increases damage dealt to the summoned creature. Okay. So that is used for thread of summoning, book thread. Okay, I'm going to assume that's something for later, but it is related to summoning, so I will be looking into that eventually. Ars Nouveau, summon horse we just did. What is this book thing about? Spell parchment. It is apparently not in here, but it should be in the worn notebook, which is in somewheres. I think I had it on me. What did I do with the worn book? There it is. Spell thread. Thread. Applying threads. Threads may be applied to armor using the alteration. Okay, so it's for the mage armor. Okay, good to know. Probably could have guessed that. Anyways, we can now summon horses, and we can now summon dogs if we want to set up the spells real quick. But if we make the enchanting apparatus, we could make the summoning wand, or dominion wand as it's called. It's actually really easy to make. But how do you use it? Used for controlling the creatures you might encounter in the world. Each being responds differently to the wand, so make sure to read up in the worn notebook. Okay, and then okay, so we need to look at the Dominion wand real quick. I wish my sister's door didn't squeak that badly. Summon familiars. You need to obtain a bound script of the entity you wish to befriend. These can be performed by performing the ritual of binding your relevant entity. Okay. So you can get you need to do this ritual while you're near something. I kind of wish there was a little button that says go to ritual of binding right here. You may access your list of familiars from your spellbook crafting menu in the familiar section. You'll summon it in the world and give you familiar sickness, preventing you from summoning another one for a short time. Perform the ritual of binding next to a starbuncle. Okay, they're bound to the player, cannot be transferred between books. So, so if we have our spellbook right here, we can do this ritual of binding, which here it is. A ritual of binding converts nearby eligible entities into bound scripts, used for summoning a familiar. For more information, see the section on familiars. So that looks relatively simple. We have a bunch of vexing archwood. And how do you make blink parchment? You need mage bloom fibers, which means we need to start growing mage blooms. Okay. We didn't get any of these seeds. Oh, that needs the enchanting apparatus, right? Okay. So, as soon as we make the enchanting apparatus, we should be able to start up onto the process of getting familiars going. That's pretty cool. Anyways, before I get distracted again, summon wolves. Select there. Toss that in there. I need 1, 2. I picked those up accidentally. Oh, I used up all my Wilden wings. I can't even do... Huh? Well, I'm not going to knock it, but how did that work exactly? That shouldn't have worked. I definitely did not have all the resources I need for that. Sure, I'll take it. I shouldn't have it, but I'll take it. Anyway, spell 3 will be summon steed. Can I do like touch ground so that it will just appear at my feet, basically? AoE. AoE. Just 3, I guess? And do we... And if we put name on it, it would automatically name it to whatever we call it. But for now, we're just going to call it horse, I think. So create, and then spell 4 is going to be essentially the same thing. Oh, you can't do AoE on this. Okay. Wolves. Cool. So, wolves. Oh, you need a form clip for this. I was kind of hoping you... Oh, touch there. Cool. So, 2 summoned wolves, and I think they're... Are they going to run out when my summoning sickness does, or not? Anyways, summoned wolves. I think they said they have a limited amount of time. Um... Ex extend time will increase the... How come this one is extend time, but the horse is AoE? That one's weird. Anyways, sure, we're technically doing extra summoning magic, it's a thing. But how do we make the enchanting apparatus? That's probably pretty important if we want to continue on being a summoner. Enchants. Enchanting apparatus. Maybe I should have looked up apparatus instead. That would probably be easier. Mine colonies. Those are those coral tombstone things. Should really look into that more too. Yeah, I should have looked up apparatus. Apparatus. Here it is. So the enchanting apparatus is source stone, diamond, and gold. Do I have source stone left, or do I have to make some? Looks like I have to make it, so... Simple enough, I'm just carrying stone on me at all times. Inventory, complete and total mess. I should have fixed it between episodes, but I was busy. Wixies. Okay, you can upgrade it with the Wixies, I guess. Source stone, simple enough. And we now have the enchanting apparatus. But what else did this require? It also needs an arcane core, which looks just as easy, actually. If not more so, because it doesn't need a diamond. Arcane... arcane core, there it is. So we now have the enchanting apparatus and the arcane core. The enchanting apparatus is used to craft various items within the mod. It requires source to work. It is also a multi-block structure that utilizes arcane pedestals to craft. Start by placing an arcane core in the ground, then place the enchanting apparatus on top of it. Okay. So, eight of the arcane pedestals surrounding this thing, and then the core is under it. Cool. Thanks for the source berries. Anyways. So, I have those 3 there, and then I have 3 more here. And then one of them was used for the ritual pedestal itself, which, did I leave that out there, maybe? I don't know where I put that. I'm gonna assume it's probably over there still. Did I leave any on me? Okay, there's one more pedestal there, which means we have 7, and then the one that's used for the ritual thing. So I'm gonna have to make one more, which is pretty simple, I think. Yep, it's simple enough, just need more source blocks. Just a note, where is my ritual pedestal? If it was still over here, it got blown up. I don't see it now, and I might have just missed it in a chest or in a backpack. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go... I need to figure out where my inventory stuff is and just dump some stuff. Let me go back and just organize things a bit better so that we can make this or set this up properly. Okay, so I went back to the actual home base real quick to just dump inventory stuff. Is this place gonna wake? I think this space might actually be just big enough. And you know what? We're gonna move all the magic stuff eventually anyways, so why not just set it up where we already have it? So, just to double check this, enchanting apparatus. Well, that's the mage bloom. That's not what I'm really here for. Binding for summon familiars. Enchanting apparatus, rituals. Oh, here it is. How to enchant? The enchanting apparatus, new upgrades by using source and items. Okay, how do I set it up though? Okay, so enchanting apparatus utilizes that. To use the enchanting apparatus, place any number of arcane pedestals within 3 blocks with their items. Once you have filled the pedestals, use the middle item on the enchanting apparatus. Okay, and then you need the arcane core and all that stuff, and it tells you how to make it. Cool. So, we have a core, we have arcane pedestals. What specifically were we using this for right now? I mean, I really want the summoning thing. Although I think there's more to the summoning than what we can currently do. So maybe we should do the mage blooms first. In which case, just 4 of these, which are each going to get a source gem, and then any seed in the middle should do. I'm also curious if that is close enough to actually take from those or not. What seeds do I care about the least? Sesame seeds? Sure. I don't think any of those ones will work. It must be aligned with the base of the enchanting apparatus. But, huh? Wasn't this how it was just set up here? Yes. Yes, it was. What was I missing? Hold on. Oh, I see. I placed it on the side of the block, and it actually needs to be like that. So now if I put seeds in the middle there, oh, that looks cool. So those seeds should become mage bloom seeds. Also, are our dogs still there? I'm not sure. No, it looks like they disappeared, probably when we left the chunk. Anyways, we now have a mage bloom seed, and we need to make 3 of these in order to actually continue on. But if I just go ahead and plant them here, do I have any extra bones on me, or did I use them all? I think I used them all for bamboo, but they should be more in here. Yep. Can I just, like, bone meal these a couple of times and get extra seeds from it? Will that work? Mage Bloom gives a Mage Bloom flower, but no extra seeds. Okay, it looks like it looks like the actual seeds themselves are either so rare that you're probably not going to see them, or you legitimately can't see them this way. And based on our track record with mysticism, I think that's probably might be actually impossible to get them. Also, this thing didn't really seem like it took any source from anywheres. It just sort of worked. Unless that was counted as close enough, although it didn't take any source from those either. I think there might just be a silly amount of source in the air from all the plants we've been growing. Because as soon as I place down a source gem, it instantly just gets filled up again. 1, 2. I guess wheat seeds are going to be what we use for most things. We have several hundred of them. Another boss. Anyways, here will be our Mage Bloom the second, and then we'll get the third one, and then that will leave us 6 Mage Bloom flowers to do with what we will. Thank you. Oh, I forgot to fill these back up with source gems. Speaking of which, should grab out lapis and just get some more of these running through, and you just get to keep a jar just to speed up a little bit more. Anyways, we're doing magical rituals, yay! So now, using our enchanting apparatus structure, we'll want to craft our first seed, the Mage Bloom seed. This will be used to create us some magical clothes. Thank you for those. And then we need Mage Bloom fibers, which are really simple to get. We'll want to craft our first seed, the Mage Bloom seed. This will use to create some magical clothes. And then we can just turn these either into dyes, into pies, into overgrowth for rituals, which bone meals things in the immediately area. Nothing that interesting right now. We're just going to turn it all into Mage Bloom fiber. I love how I went for... I'm approaching clothes while I was looking for summoning rituals. Oh yes, the spell parchment. That's why I was here. Used to inscribe spells on the scribe's table. How exactly do you get spell parchment? Should probably also get this going as well while waiting. Spell parchment. Spell books, spell binder. Oh, a novice spell book can get turned into this thing. Can be inscribed with a spell. Press not bound to quick select. Press C to open the inventory. Book thread slots 1 and 2. I don't know, is that just an even better version of the spellbook than we already have, maybe? I have no idea. But, how exactly do we get spell parchment? It's the next thing, but it doesn't tell me how to make it. Used to inscribe spells on the scribe's table. Spell parchment. Go back here. Parchment. Here we go. Blank parchment. Okay, it's just a paper and some mage bloom fibers. And then item scroll, deny. Mimic scroll. Provides a list of items to automation-related entities. So what? Dominion storage. So I just need some paper, which I left all at home. So maybe I should just move everything over eventually, but it took me it took me like 2 hours to build that little hut. I am not prepared for large scale storage moving right now. I'll probably also grab the mystical plants in a moment. But do this, and then this with these becomes a blank spell parchment. And then, oh, we can do control here. Provides a list of items. Nope. So, that's what we care about, the blank parchment paper. It's stuck on a random page, apparently. The Dominion wand we can make, and we want to make it. Display case. Whole... So, link to the inventory, Dominion wand, and inventory. I'm not entirely sure. Like, if you get enough, it will give redstone effects, I think? I don't really know. Anyways, that wasn't enough for the spell parchment. Well, we have it, and... Spell parchment. Imbued spell parchment. You can imbue spores into a spell parchment to allow you to cast a spell without consuming mana. Mimic scroll. Like, why is it... Why is there not just a page on here's how this works and here's what it does? Mimic scroll, item scroll, allow. That's not really what I'm looking for. Do I use this in my hand? I can't like quick craft the way I would in a spell book. I can't. I could put it down there. Okay, where's the info on how this works? Am I missing something? Obviously, blank parchment there. We're supposed to put a spell on it somehow. Am I missing something from Ars? At Ars. That is not the at symbol. There is that. Is there a different table that I need? Or is it something to do with the scribes table? I thought it was something to do with the scribes table, maybe. I might just be missing something. Or I've just looked at something and completely overlooked something else that was just... This could be blaringly obvious and it's just staring me in the face and I'm just missing it. Created by using a blank parchment on a scry crystal. Bind a location, but that's not a spell parchment. This is blank parchment. Where is spell parchment? Item scroll, mimic scroll, spell parchment. Can be inscribed with a spell at the scribes table. Yes, but how? Sneak to view, view entry. What if I hold this here? And could I like shift click? Ah, there we go. So now this scroll will summon wolves. Although I'm gonna assume it's probably single use. Oh, and it will give us a couple more spell parchments for... Oh, these don't have anything on us. But if I just go like so, and I switch over to horse instead, can I reassign it? Spell set. Okay, so now, summon horse. Summon horse. It doesn't work. Okay, what is the point of these? I can't... That's not at all what you said you were supposed to do. Why? Game, that's not what that spell's supposed to do. Increases the number of horses summoned. Oh. Okay, I missed a line in there. That's what happened. So yeah, that's entirely what happened. But you can't use AoE to summon more dogs? Like the one you'd actually want to summon more of? I suppose this is important if you're in like multiplayer and you want like a bunch of people to come with you and just like everyone on a horse go. But hey, we're technically doing summoning magic. That's what I wanted. Did that one not give us summoning sickness or is it just... No, the summoning sickness on the horse is only 30 seconds. That's what happened. But we technically have spell scrolls now. What to do with them? Used to inscribe spells on the Used to drop permanent runes on the ground. These runes will cast spells on entities that walk over them. To attach a spell to a rune, inscribe a spell parchment using a scribe's table. The rune will need a source to operate. Okay, so are these things specifically just used to say, oh, here's a spell, and we're going to use chalk to do it with a thing? Also, a spell parchment with any compatible item. Oh, this is basically enchanting. Any item can be enchanted with reactive. Has a chance to cast the inscribed spell on tool use or player hurt. Okay. So essentially we could say make a super strong, if we get hits, everything around us explodes ability, and just inscribe it onto our tools. Okay. So that's why you would want these scrolls. Either to either for something like that where, oh, I want to break a large area with my pickaxe. So cast break AoE with when you right click a pickaxe, I guess would be the way to do it. Or cast break AoE or explode AoE when you get hits or something like that. Okay, so I'm starting to see why you'd use those. It just took me way longer than realistically should have to figure out. Put it on the table that is specifically made for giving inventory, for creating spells. Words are hard. But also just almost skipped over the fact that that zombie gave us a bundle. That's apparently where I keep getting him from. But as soon as our friend Earl Adark here, Aldark, is dead, I think we're going to be ending off. So we're technically improving our standings as far as ours goes. We have the enchanting apparatus set up. Alignment increase. I don't want the alignment increase. I want to be evil. I've killed a couple of wandering traders, so technically I'm slightly more evil than I was, but if it's just going to keep giving me more pillagers, that's not going to matter. Okay, we were going to end off, but now there's a rare boss instead. Somewheres. Maybe. No, you're just a regular skeleton. Go up. Ah, there it is. I don't think that purple... Yep, no, that's the boss. Cool. So, inventory is a complete mess once again. If it fits, it sits. Let's see. We didn't exactly handle that other thing very well. It took us quite a while just to kill a pillager, but let's hope we're doing okay here. The swords will always... The swords are just our best way to handle any fight right now. Are you doing teleportation magic? What just happened there? Oh, we're also going into the mines in here. Swords, don't bring it too far, please. How is it doing? Oh, the swords have already almost handled it. Okay. Wait, Steve the Questionable just killed a sword with an arrow. That's kind of impressive, actually. Oh, we need a better sword. Like, ours kind of sucks. Anyways, our boss friend is almost dead. We did almost none of it. But hey, we're getting here in the end. Steve the Questionable goes down and gives us some cool loot. Earl Aldark's... Okay, Steve the Questionable's Ruined Gilt Shoes of the Current. Lightning damage taken. Those actually look pretty good, except for the only one armor, because, you know, it's still gold in the end. But I think that should technically be... Yep, we equipped rare boots, and we don't have to be currently wearing them. We just need to have worn them at some point, basically. So, we just need to kill the Wither and get a rare chest plate at some point, and we'll be able to move up on game stages again. But anyways, that's probably a pretty good place to end things off. Slight improvements as far as ours goes. We now have the enchanting apparatus, and we know, I think, how to use it. We have mage blooms going. Eventually, we'll be able to use this stuff. Trinkets pouch can be opened with J while in the hotbar in the curio slots. Interesting. Give to a starbuncle to make them transport potions. That would be cute. Cosmetic curio for players. Again, cute. Cosmetic curio. Mage Bloom block is used for things. Skyweave, okay. Horns, we could give ourselves cute little horns. Mage Bloom beds, I'm gonna assume those are for our little buddies that we can get going. Alteration table, hold on, that's a thing. What are you used for? Other than crafting things, I guess. Alteration table is to inscribe threads onto magical armor. Okay, so the blank threads whole thing here. These things, you can make magical armor. Okay, so thread slots, cool. Okay, so enchanting apparatus, gold armor, and mage blooms will get us sorcerer's gear. Iron will get us arcanist. Okay. Max mana, mana regen. So why would you? 231. 231. Oh, okay, so I guess Sorcerer versus Arcanist doesn't actually have much of a difference in it. They're both tier 1. No, that's Arcanist. Battle Mage gives us a little bit of extra armor, but wait, 331? Okay, it is slightly more. Helmet is 231. So there's no difference using iron and gold. It gets the same thing. Battle Mage armor has tiny bit more extra. It has a tiny bit extra defenses on it. But, okay. We don't have the diamonds for it, so we'd go with iron anyways. And then from there, armor upgrading. With Threadstone okay. So, Arcanist robes with blaze rods can be evolved to Arcanist robes tier 2. And then any pearls and a course fruit will get it to tier 3. I'm going to assume it probably works just about the same for everything at that point. Armor, Okay. So yeah, looks like it works the same for everything, and then the alteration table, you can make the threads, and various threads have various different effects on it. Okay. So, oh, and you can see cheap damage. Thread for the Spellbinder will greatly discount the spells cast from the equipped book, but heavily reduce their damage. Slow Plower. Reduce speed, but do extra damage might be good. Increase the melee damage if used as a weapon. So basically turn your book into a battering tool. Knockback if used as weapon. Book thread. Hold on, these are book threads, not, Yeah, those are book threads. Those aren't, armor threads. Apparently there's a difference. I don't know. Plus there's things like the Enchanter Sword. We're going to be using that enchanting thing for a whole bunch more than we currently are. But we at least have it started. I would. Before we end off, we're just going to make the... We're just going to make this thing, even if we're not going to use it just yet. The Summoner's Wand. Dominion Wand, rather. It's 2 of these, a stick, and a gold. That's simple enough. 2 of these. A stick and a gold. Stick in the middle, or yeah, stick in the middle, gold on the side. So now we have a Dominion Wand. Now we need to do the ritual of make familiars and all that stuff. Yep, Dominion Wand. We have a magical wand, summoning help. Dominion Wand is used for controlling the creatures you might encounter in the wild. Each one responds differently to the wand, so make sure to read up in the Worn Notebook. Cool. Extra source gems. Cool. Amethyst Golem, obtained by performing the ritual of awakening near budding amethyst. Cool. So, Amethyst Golem charm. Amethyst Golem conversion. I don't know. I said we were about to end off, and I am now just scrolling through extra things again. But for right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and hope to see you next time. So, without further ado, take care, everybody. I want to thank you all so much for watching one more time, and a special thank you to the channel members, Yamato Tanagata and Goddess of the Starfilled Void. Thank you so much for the extra support. So now, without further ado, take care, everybody.